Welcome to BW Businessworld. Today we are here at BW Education's FMEC 2023. I have with me Mr. Anish Srikrishna, who is CEO of TimesPro. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
We're speaking in the backdrop of how the whole education sector is evolving in such a great manner. You coming from edtech space of it, what would you say? What are some of the major determining trends of the sector right now?
So I'll qualify that I come from the head tech space, the higher education technology space.
So good.
I think it's one of the most exciting spaces today in this country. As we see our economy grow and become more formal, the need for skilled higher education personnel who will man the technology and management jobs of these opportunities that are coming up is a massive gap. And I think edtech companies like ours are stepping in to solve the gap between academia and industry, and to also keep working professionals well schooled on the trends in technology and management that are happening today. So we fulfill a confluence need between academia, the IIMs and the great management institutes and the great IITs, and the working professionals and also the job seekers. And we also finish the loop by talking with industry and ensuring that their needs are felt in academic corridors.
So good to know. We've just seen a bloodbath in edtech. I mean, it's a very saddening fact, but it's still a fact. They are citing the reason as restructuring or let's say cost cutting, and in some instances they also claiming that this is a part of their process, let's say talent management, but this is kind of a part of non-strategic hiring, if I can say. What would you say about this and where we are headed to?
So I've always said that there is two concurrent trends in education technology, and that's why I said we are part of the higher education technology. One is the valuation driven trend, the other is the value driven trend. And as part of TimesPro, we believe that we are part of the value driven trend because we've been very focused on our learner. We've been very focused on improving the outcomes for the learner. We are not a valuation seeking company. We are well funded. The Times of India Group funds as well. We have looked at outcomes. We have touched over 2 million learners. We have grown at a 90% CAGR over the last 7 years. We have ensured that 90% plus of our students are placed. We've ensured that certification is at a very high level. We've ensured satisfaction of our management and technology executive education professionals. So to that extent, what we have done across our forte, be it in B2C, B2B, B2G, B2I, we have been very, very outcome oriented. And therefore, a lot of what's happening in the larger valuation ecosystem does not really apply to us.
So good to know when you say that you lay emphasis on value over valuation. Of course, that should be the foray for every company in every sector, if I can say. According to you, what strategies are working? Just as you say that you're coming from higher education technology sector, what strategies are working in terms of grooming your future masters, if I can say? What strategies, what practices, what initiatives are working well?
That's a very good question, and we always go back to the learner need. What is the problem we are solving? What is the gap we are filling? Right? Education is a fundamental social need, and if you look at our country, our penetration of higher education today is just about 25%. The government has put up a plan to double that to 50% by 2030. That is going to happen when industry, academia, and edtech companies like ours come together, because you have to solve for both access and affordability. That's really the problem of education in the world and in India in particular. So for us, the masters that you're referring to comes from how are we helping a young girl or a young boy who's coming out of college to get into their first jobs? How are we helping them to stay competent in those jobs throughout their working life? So that lifetime value of that consumer, of that learner, is where we see our master's degree and our doctorate programs coming from. So it's a very exciting space.
So we are speaking in the first month of the year. What more can we expect from TimesPro? Also tell us about if you are looking at some partnerships with government or let's say state governments or some exciting initiatives you're coming up with, and what is your larger goal for next 5 years?
So the goal has always been to reach out to the maximum number of learners across the country. And I think the initiatives that we are doing now in early employability, in technology, in cutting edge areas like Web3 3.0. These will be really the definitive, programs and courses that we will launch. At a state government level, at a central government level, we are also engaged in looking at capability building programs. We are looking at creating fundamental employability generation and vocational programs. We are looking at creating vocational education right from the school level, so that our country's attitudes to vocational is actually improved. And there is such a rich canvas to paint on that whichever part of the canvas you start from, there is massive room and massive scope, provided the intentions are right. And I'll come back to the value orientation that TimesPro is looking at.
So good to have you. I love this conversation. Thank you so